Alright, so of course now that I have my super compact mini itty bitty nano kitchen totally dialed in, I am doing 180 degrees and cooking over a fire with this little Dutch oven that I got at Daiso. This thing, I think it was like $12, and I cook with cast iron a lot at home, but not so much camping because cast iron's typically very large, very heavy, hard to clean, you know. It's just too much burden for me. But when I saw this little itty bitty single serve cast iron thing, I was like, okay, maybe I could cast iron cook camping. First thing we're gonna make is frijoles charros. I can't roll my R's, I'm sorry. We make cowboy beans. Of course, the main part of that is beans. These are pinto beans. It's 1 cup actually. When they were dry, it was about like that. And they have been soaking about 24 hours. So I'm gonna drain off this water and use our beans. A couple reasons to do that. One of which is to accelerate the process. 2, apparently it helps a little bit with the side effects, if you know what I mean. Second thing, if you were a cowboy and you're on the trail, you would probably want to include some sort of flavoring agent, a little bit of meat, but you don't have much. So the ends of a roast of meat, or just the fat that you cut off from some bacon or a ham bone. In this case, I've got bacon bits. So these are fully cooked. I love to use these in things just for flavor, you know, without having to fry bacon and then you have to deal with the grease. We're not going 100% authentic here, obviously. We're doing the spirit. And since it's fall, you know what that means. Hatch green chili season. I mean, we'll still be using these later, but we've got a little chili here for some flavor and tomato. So the other thing would be like onions and garlic and stuff like that. So I just brought dried onion and garlic powder and epazote. It grew as a weed in my garden. Supposedly it helps with the side effects of beans, but it also has a sort of resinous turpentine flavor that reminds me of an IPA. I will include a little bit of it. So if you don't have access to epazote, or you just don't like the flavor of turpentine, then maybe just put a little oregano in. That'd probably be good. Now, I'm no cowboy cookery expert by any means, so, you know, you're learning with me. But I do know that you're supposed to use the coals, not so much the flamey bit. So I have this bunch of coals in here. I think this is going to be my cooking area. Guess let's start with, ooh, they're still pretty hot. Oh no! Oh no! You lost some peppers. Too many beans. I almost forgot. Actually, I meant to put this in first, but this also needs to go in here if we want dessert. There. Oh, needs more water. Alright, I feel like the pumpkin wants to explode, so. It did! It totally ruptured. Look at that. Alright, let's switch these. Wow. Wow, okay, those coals were way too hot. I made way too many. Note to self, maybe a half cup of beans. I don't think they're done yet. It's still a little hard. Tastes good though. More water, more time. I don't know why he prefers to sit in basically the road, but he's happy with it. Got beans simmering. Probably too many beans. And I was gonna make some little masa dumplings to go on top because I like to have something starchy with my soupy items. But then I found this tamale in a packet and I was like, well, that's like a masa starchy thing that I could just put it right on top. I think it's gonna be too full. So hard.
And I remember one of my favorite memories with him is he would carry a thermos of coffee around with him. He would stop at the park bench, you know.
Just noting for the record, it is 7:15 at night. Beans are still a little crunchy. As predicted, I'm gonna be out here, but still shorts weather. So there's that. Have a fire and wear shorts. This is fall in Arizona. It's 7:41 in the evening. The rally is still going strong. I'm lucky enough to enjoy a live performance. Oh, they're playing Walk by Pantera. Anyhow, beans are still going. And I put Gunther to bed in the Forerunner because he was creeping me out, just sort of sitting in the periphery. The cows are lowing. I am hungry and out of patience, so let's check this out. First of all, let's check out this tamale. Let's bisect it. I do see some poblano chilies in there and corn. There's your corn. There's the chili. Good. Would buy again. This is so much food. Alright, let's get down to the beans. I suspect they probably still need to cook longer, but it's been like 2 hours? 3? I don't even know. I Time is a concept at this point. Actually, they're almost there. Almost there. I should have put them in a bigger jar when I was soaking them, because they didn't have room to expand fully. These are 85% there. They're not quite to the creamy stage, but they are tender. And the flavor is good. Let's get really experimental. Try something that I haven't seen anywhere. My original idea was this. Roast a pumpkin, add a little sweetened condensed milk, a little ginger cookie crumb, make it a sort of pudding, call it a day. Then I thought, see if we could make it more like a pie. I have no idea what I'm going to find when I open this out. I'm hoping that it's cooked and I just have to seed it. Let's see. Okay. We need to get the seeds out without taking out all the flesh. Let's see. Pretty good. There isn't a whole lot of flesh left, but I think it's going to be enough. Alright, so we're going for pumpkin pie vibes. We're going to need good old sweetened condensed milk for the sugar and the milk part. As always, I'm not going to measure a darn thing. Just going to give it a squeeze. I'm going to say maybe a teaspoon. Let's do a little more. Maybe a tablespoon. This is a tiny little pumpkin. We're also going to need some pumpkin pie spice. And this is where I was going to leave it. Right about here. Just sort of a pumpkin pudding. We don't play it safe around here. So I did bring an egg, and FYI, these little silicone condiment things from Dollar Tree holds one large egg. So I think I'm going to do about half. This is a little pumpkin. I don't want too eggy, but I do need to bind our filling together. Looks like pumpkin pie filling. Put the lid on it, and we're gonna bake it. Hopefully this works. Alright, so it is after 9 o'clock. I'm tired, and my phone's about to die. My watch is about to die. It is time to go to bed. So I left the pie under the rack and under this rock. And my hope is that the coals will die. It'll cool off. Morning, it'll be set and cool and not eaten by skunks. Oh, it looks undisturbed. Actually, nothing in the site was disturbed. I'm surprised. I thought there'd be more creatures. I mostly just heard owls last night and this morning. This actually feels like it might still be warm, which is not what we want. It looks rather dry. Oh, no? It's got some give to it. All right, well, clean it up and check it out. All right, we're gonna check it out over here. Since somebody over there is letting their Duramax idle. Since we don't have a crust, which would make it more of a pie, I have these ginger cookies, and that's gonna be like a crust, but on top. You know what I wish I had? little whipped cream. There are actually little pieces of ginger in here. They're finally pulling out, so. Come on. Looks pie-like. Okay. Thoughts? Definitely getting pie texture and probably a little overbaked. But that's cooking in the wild. Also, probably could use a little bit more sweetened condensed milk. It's not quite as sweet as I would like it, but totally like pie filling. Actually, probably more pumpkin-y than most. Not a bad way to start the day. Pretty good start. There's still some good amount of crud in there, so we're going to do the old wadded up foil trick. I think that'll do. So next up is a Dutch baby. If you haven't heard of a Dutch baby, it's kind of like a crepe and a popover had a baby, so it's a little bit like an eggy pancake like a crepe, but in a concave shape like a popover, and it's cooked in a similar way in a hot vessel. Never made one over a campfire, so this is new. I made the batter in advance, maybe a little too far in advance, so I'm not sure how that's going to react, but I guess we'll find out. So first I need to be preheating the lid with some coals, and then I got to throw some butter and some berries in there. Not this big thing. I don't think it's even hot. Whoa! It's flambeing. I feel like that is too hot. Definitely burnt my butter. I didn't put all of it in there. I think it's maybe been a minute, 2 minutes. Curiosity, you know? Oh, alright, it's not quite done, but it's looking interesting. Alright, I think if I leave it much longer, it's going to get burnt on the bottom. Whoa. Okay, I think it's done. Gorge. Might be a little charred in areas. Let's see. I think it's the look we're going for. Yeah. Those blueberries, first of all. I don't know what they're feeding those suckers, but they are massive. They did say they are colossal blueberries, and they did not lie. It's still very hot. That is not bad. I was worried because there's no sugar in this batter. It's just mostly eggs, a little bit of flour, a little vanilla, dash salt, and yeah, I think that's about it. I was a little worried there was no sugar, but oh, I brought powdered sugar for this very purpose. And then that's what assured me that, okay, there's no sugar in the batter, but it's going to go on at the end. Oh, yeah. And that's a little better. You see that custardy center. Alright, I need to get a piece with some blueberries. I'm going to end up with nothing but blueberries. Yeah, those things are... I've been putting them in my cereal. I had to cut them in like quarters to make them bite size. They're like grown on a Superfund site or something. So notes for next time. Maybe not so hot with the butter. Take it off to the side.